Nick Triggle, thank you very much. You can read Nick's article on the BBC News website. I'm Regina Vaidinalden. Lucy's up next.
Live from London, this is BBC News. Venezuela's new president, Delcy Rodriguez, is expected to be sworn in and strikes a conciliatory tone with the US. These are live pictures right now that we have from Caracas. We're going to bring you all the developments as they happen.
I'm Sumi Somaskanda, live at the Venezuelan border with Colombia, where we're taking a look at the wider impact on the region. We'll bring you all the details.
Mr. Trump has again insisted that the US is in charge of Venezuela. In New York, the deposed president, Nicolas Maduro, is due to appear in a New York court on drugs charges. Also coming up this hour, 10 people have been found guilty of cyberbullying the French First Lady, Brigitte Macron, with false rumours she was born a man. And sacked after 14 months in the job, Ruben Amorim leaves Manchester United with immediate effect. Hello, I'm Lucy Hockings. Welcome to BBC News Now. 3 hours of fast-moving news, interviews and reaction. Venezuela's acting president, Delcy Rodriguez, is about to be sworn in, but there is huge uncertainty in the South American nation as President Trump insists the United States is now in charge of the country. So we leave these live pictures from New York, from outside the courthouse. We'll be back in a moment. Around the world and across the UK, this is BBC News. Welcome back. In the last few minutes, we've been hearing from the UK's Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer, who has been talking to our political editor Chris Mason about Venezuela. Let's have a listen to what he had to say. Donald Trump has warned its new leader, Delcy Rodriguez, that she could pay a very big price, probably bigger than Maduro, if she doesn't do what is right. So we're keeping across all these different strands for you. President Maduro charged with drug trafficking and weapons offences in New York, and also what is happening in Caracas right now. So do stay with us here on BBC News. This is BBC News. The headlines. Venezuela's deposed President Nicolas Maduro is being transferred to a court in New York. He will face drugs charges. The new president, Delcy Rodriguez, is expected to be sworn in and strikes a conciliatory tone with the US. Oil prices remain volatile and gold rises as President Trump says US oil companies will invest billions in Venezuela. Hello, I'm Lucy Hockings. Good to have you with us. We're going to have more on Venezuela coming up shortly, but some big football news to bring you now that's been breaking in the last few hours or so. Ruben Amorim has been sacked as Manchester United manager. He was at Old Trafford for just 14 months. It follows more disappointing results this season, with United currently lying 6th in the Premier League. Stay with us. Around the world and across the UK, this is BBC News. Welcome back to the situation in Venezuela and those remarkable scenes in New York too in a moment. But let's bring you up to date with some of the other stories making headlines around the world. China's leader Xi Jinping has welcomed the South Korean leader Lee Jae-myung on a 4-day state visit with a ceremony in the Great Hall of the People.
Taking a wait-and-see posture and seeing exactly what happens going forward.
Andrew Feinstein there, and we will be back in New York and also bringing you the latest from Caracas in a moment. But let's return to the breaking news we've had in the past few hours from France. 10 people have been found guilty of cyberbullying the French First Lady, Brigitte Macron, with false rumours that she was born a man.
Rendered more difficult by all of this.
Hugh, thank you. Hugh Schofield joining us there from Paris. More coming up from New York and also from Caracas. Do stay with us on BBC News. Live from London, this is BBC News. Venezuela's deposed President Nicolas Maduro has been transferred to a court in New York where he'll face drugs charges. These are the live pictures right now from outside the court where a handcuffed Mr. Maduro was escorted by armed police officers.
I'm Sumi Somaskanda live at Colombia's border with Venezuela, where we're tracking the latest developments and how they will impact Venezuela, Colombia, and the entire region.
Venezuela's new president, Delcy Rodriguez, is expected to be sworn in and strikes a conciliatory tone with the US. Oil prices remain volatile and gold rises as President Trump says US oil companies will invest billions in Venezuela. And the US action in Venezuela has led to a renewed war of words over the future of Greenland, which President Trump again claims his country needs. One other big story to bring you this hour, Ruben Amorim leaves Manchester United with immediate effect, sacked after 14 months in the job. Hello, I'm Lucy Hockings. Welcome to BBC News Now. Nicolas Maduro, the former leader of Venezuela, has been transferred to a New York court where he's set to face charges related to weapons and drug offences. Sumi, great to see you. Sumi Somaskanda there at the border between Venezuela and Colombia. Sumi just mentioning Stephen Miller there. His wife has caused a huge amount of controversy by tweeting a picture of Greenland in the American colours, the American flag. We're going to be looking at that in a moment, so stay with us. Around the world and across the UK, this is BBC News. Greenland's Prime Minister has told Donald Trump to drop his fantasies of annexation after repeated US threats to take over the autonomous Danish territory. Shortly after the US raid on Venezuela on Saturday, the wife of President Trump's top aide posted this on X, a map of Greenland in the colours of the American flag, with the caption, "Soon." She says she expects Washington to respect sovereignty and says that Mexico is a sovereign, independent country that is against intervention. So we're keeping across all of these lines coming from President Sheinbaum, and we will bring you more throughout the day as we continue to get regional reaction to what is happening in Venezuela.
Now on BBC News, the latest from New York and around the world. Business Today.
Live from New York at the opening bell, this is Business Today. Wall Street opens higher after the capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro as shares in US oil companies rally. A crude approach, the price of oil and gold rise after the US operation in Venezuela. Trump says American oil companies will invest billions into the country. And are we headed for a new perma-crisis? The impact of rising geopolitical tension globally is now set to reshape the global risk map. Also, from BB cream to pimple patches, K-beauty is taking over the cosmetics world. We report from Seoul on what's behind the remarkable rise. Welcome to Business Today, live from New York. I'm Michelle Fleury, and we start here on Wall Street, where markets have just opened slightly higher. Global financial markets, of course, reacting cautiously to the recent US strike and capture of Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro, who is set to face charges in a New York court later this morning. Right. Well, I mean, given the increasing level of shocks, I suspect you're going to be very busy in the year ahead. Arno Vissier, Chairman and CEO of International SOS, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
That's it from us here on Business Today. Do stay with us, though, on BBC News.
Welcome back to BBC News Now. Let's return to the dramatic pictures we've seen in the last couple of hours. The moment that Nicolas Maduro, the former president of Venezuela, was transferred, handcuffed and under a high level of security from a helicopter to an armoured prison van, which drove him through the streets of Manhattan to a federal courthouse.
But being firm in our principles.
This is Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum just responding to some of the comments made by President Trump over the weekend, where he hinted at military action in Mexico to combat drug cartels. She said they are cooperating with the US on drug trafficking and security, and said she didn't think any kind of military action was a real risk, but that she condemned as well the US operation inside Venezuela, and said that we categorically reject intervention in the internal matters of other countries. Also said Dulce Rodriguez, they've had no communication so far. Do stay with us. Christian is here next. Bye-bye.